Am I the bumhole for making a dad joke? I honestly thought it was a funny dad joke, and my son agrees. I love that he's like, my son agrees.
My son thinks it's funny, and the people in the supermarket thought it was funny as well. Everyone was laughing. I don't know, actually.
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. Am I the bumhole for making a dad joke?
I'm so glad you read that one. I scrolled a little bit on, and I was like, that's going to be my next one if he doesn't read that.
It's one of those ones where it's like, there's a possibility it could get dark, but it probably won't.
Probably won't.
Note, my stepdaughter, Madeline, was about a year old when I married her mother, Jessica. Madeline's father died before she was born. Okay, it could get dark.
Wait, okay, keep reading, just keep reading. There's just, I guess, two ways to interpret that title. Right?
Yeah, like, is it a dad joke or is it a joke about a dad?
Yeah. Okay, everybody on edge. Everybody be ready to panic.
If you have to log out of the stream,
don't. I need the viewers.
Okay, if you have to log out of the stream, there's no judgment from anyone but Jack.
Yeah. Moz, by the way. No one can know.
Madeline is currently 15, and she's rebelling for almost everything. She did something bad, so while picking her up, I set a punishment up for her. Then she said, "You're not my dad. I don't have to follow you." Honestly, I got a bit hurt from that, but I understand that she didn't mean it, and that she'd probably change. I just replied, "I'm still your legal guardian for the next 3 years, and as long as you're in my house, you have to follow my rules." That happened about 2 days ago. So our family was going grocery shopping when Madeline said, "I'm hungry, I need food." I decided to be extremely cheeky and say, "Hi, hungry, I'm not your dad." My son just started to laugh uncontrollably. My daughter was just quiet with embarrassment, and my wife was berating me not to stoop down to her level. I honestly thought it was a funny dad joke, and my son agrees. I love that he's like, my son agrees.
My son thinks it's funny, and the people in the supermarket thought it was funny as well. Everyone was laughing.
My son agrees. So, am I the arsehole? Edit. I did adopt her, so legally I am her parent. There is a mini update, but we'll pass our judgment here first.
I don't know, actually.
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. Is he the arsehole? I don't know yet. Let's talk about it. But initially, I'm like, I would just err on the side of not touching that subject.
Yes.
You know? Like, not... Especially because he already said, like, she's rebelling. You know, he thinks she's going to change her mind. Sorry, 1 second. I'll wipe the mic. So, like, if he already thinks that, why is he poking the bear instead of just letting it pass? Now, that being said, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It wasn't as bad. I think he absolutely buried the lead, and that's usually a sign that there might be maybe a bit more to the story. And I'm not. I do have also the information that there is an update, so maybe I'm factored that in. But that's not a dad joke.
I mean, it is. It's a bad one. It's the shape of a dad joke, but it doesn't fit in the hole.
it's like he remixed a dad joke into a mean joke. I do think it's quite mean. And yeah, okay, you're saying back to her what she said to you, but she's 15.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with his wife about not stooping to her level. You kind of have to just be the bigger person there. And
especially, he kind of convinced me that he was in the wrong when he was like, I think it's just a phase. I think she's just rebelling. It's like, well, if you think that, then why are you, like, poking it?
Yeah,
you know?
kind of
why are you
all the more reason
it?
to just rise above the kind of mean thing. And I'm not saying it's okay what she said either. Do you know what I mean? It is still mean, especially if he adopted her. That's rough. But, yeah, you sort of do kind of... I think he comes across like an asshole. I think, a little bit. I think the fact that he did include that his son thought the joke was funny means he's desperate for people to think his joke was funny.
Unless his son is like an adult, I don't think you can be like, my son backed me up.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I had an opinion. My wife was upset, my daughter was upset, but my 6-year-old boy thought I was all right.
Yeah. I don't have strong opinions on like the parenting faux pas. I just don't think it's very funny. I don't think it's a very good joke.
It's a crime against comedy.
It really is. And like, if he had just said it off cuff, we've all, you know, that's haha, sure. It's the fact that he's so desperate for somebody to tell him his joke was funny when it's just not that good.
Yeah.
It's just not that good a joke. Even if everything was fine and that was kind of the relationship him and his stepdaughter had, it's still just not that funny. It's just
No,
not
but
that kind of joke.
making a non-funny joke is a very dad thing to do.
True.
So there's the only argument I can give. What's the chat saying here? Teens are jerks. Stooping to their level is immature. He's a grown-up man. He should do better.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that too. He should have swallowed his ego. I'm not seeing any disagreements here. I think it's along the lines.
It's a little tough though, because I sort of see where he's coming from in that he's wrong, but like I feel like you could explain it to him. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he's like an irredeemable piece of shit.
Well,
I think he's just not thinking of the bigger picture.
Yeah, kind of in that vein. Sorry to bring up the channel that you don't want to bring up, but something that Shane Top says a lot, which I fully agree with, which is like, sometimes you're more of an arsehole because we have the knowledge that you posted this on Reddit.
That you're seeking validation. That's kind of where I was coming from with that he just is so desperate for somebody to laugh at his joke.
Yeah.
Like, I think if it wasn't a joke and he had just said it, he wouldn't have posted it to Reddit. He just wants someone to go, mate, that's banging. Oh, that's so funny. I dropped my phone, I was laughing so hard.
But there's definitely things where it's like, you know, if you have a disagreement with your spouse, like he's having, and you're like, oh, this is really, like, tough, like, I need to get some outside opinion on here. But then there's other times where it's like, you have a disagreement with your spouse, and you're just not willing to, like, listen to them, so you run to the internet. Like, this doesn't feel like something that was so in the weeds that they needed to, like, ask someone else. I will read the update.
Before you do, because you mentioned somebody else that does this is probably not making it into the YouTube video. I want to confess to something semi-related, because it didn't end up working anyway.
Okay.
So
wait, do you have an adopted daughter?
So I made this joke, and I thought it was hilarious. No, so I want to say like a year and a half ago. It was a while ago. I thought it would be really funny to try and get a story on someone else's Reading Reddit Stories show. To just invent multiple
just be the arsehole who invents the arsehole.
I just thought it'd be really funny.
That is such a you.
Yeah, just like be able, we'd like see it on one of the videos me and Lottie watch and just be like, look, I wrote that. That's fiction. I made that up. And I posted loads. Like,
you're so sad.
I know, dude.
You're so sad. Why not just post a real story? You have a lot of funny stories.
Because I've never been.
It's not going to be good enough.
I've never been the arsehole.
Compete with these people making terrible dad jokes.
Dude, I wrote some heinous shit. And
why? You're just as bad.
Attention.
I actually think maybe it's worse if it's a real thing that happens if you run to Reddit.
True. And literally, and it must have been about 10 stories before I just gave up. Every single one, the first or second comment was like, this is fake. You made this up. This is fiction.
Yeah. It's just the Jonathan Frakes joke.
Yeah.
It was fake. It never happened.
Yeah. So instead of getting a funny goof where I appear, you know, anonymously on one of those Reading Reddit stories, I just learned I wasn't a very good writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't write very convincing prose.
No.
Josh says, if you put loads of you're the arsehole posts on that subreddit, people are going to think you're a real sack of crap.
Oh, to be clear, I use different accounts.
Oh, it's even sadder than we thought. Update. I'll probably give a full update later, but here is what happened so far.
We're divorced.
I got to my daughter's room after dinner and began talking with her. Hey, he's written it like a story, like quotes. Hey, I'm really sorry for that. I hurt you with the words I said.
Pause. He's an arsehole for that. He's an arsehole for putting what he said in quotes.
And I am really your dad. I changed your diapers. I met your boyfriend. I plan on helping you through college.
Hopefully there was some time between those two things.
And
change your diaper, met your boyfriend, and now we're here.
And plus, I'm legally your dad, so we're stuck together. But seriously, I'm going to love you like my daughter, even if you don't think I'm your dad. Then I hugged her. She did start to cry. I assume that's good. Look, on the one hand, it's very sweet of him to be like, I consider myself to be your dad, you know, and I didn't, like, validating not validating the idea that, like, he isn't actually your dad, basically. And coming down on the idea of, like, no, I am actually your dad, that was a joke. It is a bit weird, though, to be like, hey, I'm your fucking dad!
whether you like it or not.
But, like, you know, it's complicated. Like, it is a complicated situation. I think he could have said it a little bit differently, like maybe like starting with like, hey, you know, however you feel is valid, but I don't know. It's good.
I'd have just moved out.
Play devil's advocate. It's kind of like the first story where it's clearly the intent to make the other person reflect, but all done in a shit way. Yeah, I think we do need to, like, find a way as a society to teach people how to, like, admit wrong, because that is something that, like, I know people who are, like, legit good people, but as soon as they have to admit that they were wrong, all of the functions in their brain just shut off, you know, and they just don't know how to do it. So there is an element.
Anyone in particular?
I'm not saying names. If I speak, I will be in great trouble.
Am I the arsehole for not being able to admit I'm wrong? Oh, Josh, that would have been such a funny idea. Josh asks, is this one of the fake stories Moz posted? If I had snuck one in, if I'd thought, because I can't find those now, but if I'd had time.
Yeah, because you'd have to log into your 16 different alts.
But that would have been, you hand me the phone and I quickly switch accounts and read one of the ones I wrote. Oh, that's so funny. But the thing is, if we do this again, now everyone's going to be on edge, because I will have time to do that.
Yes.